What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and our prayers were answered. They gave our girl Firefly some super break, and she is pretty strong now. She was pretty strong before, but now she's even stronger because she has her own super break, and you don't need Harmony MC for it. Either way, we're going to use her with Harmony MC, so it doesn't really matter, but she can now do it herself, so that's fantastic. Break meta is coming. So if you're like me and you enjoy the break meta, you're going to pull for Boot Hill, you're going to pull for Firefly, you're going to pull for both, or either, whatever the case may be, and you're pulling, check out LootBar. Trust me, you will not regret it. I am never paying full price for Stellar Jades ever again because I can get them at a massive discount, and it's 100% legal and 100% safe. Click the link in the description below. It's going to take you to lootbar.gg. There you can find your game like HSR or Genshin Impact, because this does work with Genshin Impact as well. All you have to do is select your user ID, select your server, make sure this information is 100% accurate. And once you do that, you're going to select the product you want to purchase. Click the purchase button, and within minutes, you're going to receive your Stellar Jades in the game. It's that simple. And the best part is that in game, this would have been $300, but in lootbar.gg, I was able to save $47, and that is an insane amount of money. Check out lootbar.gg, link in the description below. A little bit from our last video, on version 2, we had higher multipliers on the skill basic and enhanced skill and enhanced basic, but now their multipliers came a little bit down, but it doesn't matter because her damage doesn't really come from those. She did get a slight nerf on the enhanced skill. Now she heals 35%, and she gets hit for more when she does her skill out of combustion for 40%. Her energy regeneration actually got a buff. You get 65% when you max your trace out at level 10. Enhanced skill got a slight nerf in the heals, and also a slight nerf on the multiplier, but it's fine because most of her damage is not going to come from that anyways, as I just previously said. As far as her ultimate, she got a little bit of a buff. She enters combustion and advances action by 100%, gains basic and enhanced skill, increased speed by 60, it used to be 50, and then break efficiency by 50%. Also increases damage or break damage received by enemy by 20%. This counts as a vulnerability debuff. This used to be something else. And then when combustion gets a turn, Sam exits combustion, and now combustion speed is actually 70 and not 90, which means you're getting more speed. Combustion is slower, which means you have more turns to do more damage. Her damage reduction talent stayed the same. Her tech pretty much stayed the same. Now the traces got a little bit of a rework. This new trace, if Sam is in complete combustion with a break effect that is 360% or higher when attacking weakness broken enemy, deals 1 instance of super break equal to 35 or 50% break damage or super break damage. So if you have 360, which is going to be pretty easy to obtain, I'm going to show you how. You're going to be dealing about 50% super break damage, which is pretty good. It does not get buffed by Harmony MC's buff, and it also stacks on top of Harmony MC super break. So it's going to be 2 instances of super break damage if you run her with Fire MC, just so you can know. Her second trace, which was her conversion from attack into break effect, now it is for every 10 attack that exceeds 1800, you will gain 1% break effect. This actually converts really well, and you're going to see in the calculations how easily that converts into a lot of break effect. And then the last one, she's a colorless breaker. She breaks about 55% of what she would have broken on enemies that are not weak to fire. Same trace stats and everything like that. She gets a really hefty amount of break effect here. Now let's get into the nitty gritty, which are the calculations. All right, so for our baseline, we are going to be running with a Ruan May 180 break effect. We're going to be running Harmony MC at E4 and also our Gallagher. That's why we have vulnerability multiplier at 112, because of 12% for Gallagher's vulnerability multiplier, 25% respan, 68% damage bonus, all from Ruan May. Here on the buff category for the break effect, we have 80% in buffs and break effect because we have 20 from Ruan May, we have 30 from Harmony MC's Trace, and then 30 for Harmony MC's Eidolon. So that's a total of 60 because our Harmony MC is going to be running at 200% break effect. Now, her attack got a really massive hit. Her attack was 727, and now it went all the way down to 524. She took a massive hit on attack because honestly, Firefly does not need attack, and the little break effect or attack into break effect trace is actually a cherry on top. For people that can't get enough break effect, they can also rely a little bit on their attack. So 524 base attack, 476 for Misha's light cone, which is going to give us more break effect and crit rate. The chest, we're running an attack chest. We're running speed boots and attack orb. We don't need fire damage. We don't need crit rate, crit damage, or anything like that. Actually, any of these 3 can be anything. Really, it doesn't matter because all of Firefly's damage is going to come from breaking the enemy and keeping the enemy broken and killing them while they're broken. So the only reason you would run attack or all 3 of attack is if you don't have enough break effect and you want to squeeze out some break effect. Because as you can see, with just the attack chest and the attack orb, you have 2500 attack. You have a little bit in subs as well. But 2500 in attack gives you a total of 72 extra break effect from the trace, which is really nice. If you're struggling even more, you can actually throw in the speed boots, and I'm gonna explain why the speed boots work as well, and then you're gonna get a you're gonna get an increase on break effect of 115. But for this particular scenario, we're going to keep the speed boots because we just want to keep it like that. I like speed boots. 30% attack and subs. This honestly can be 0, anywhere from 0 to 30. It really doesn't matter. This only matters if you're having issues getting the threshold for break effect. Now the juicy part, break effect. We have 37.3 in trace stats. 50% in subs, because again, that's what we want to focus. And it's actually fairly common that you're going to have a few pieces that have break effect rolled a few times in it. The light cone is the S5 Misha light cone. I don't expect everybody to have this, but if you don't, then you can just run whatever other light cone you have that gives them survivability, HP, or something like that. There's no other break effect light cone does destruction. So unfortunately, this is the only break effect 4-star light cone that exists in the destruction path. So that's the one I picked. I have it, I think, at S3 or something. Again, 80% in subs. And then we are running a break effect rope for the 64%. Now, we can actually play with this. With the total of 415 break effect, we can actually play around with this. Like, you can remove Misha's light cone if you don't have it. You're still going to be at almost 360. So if you have this and you have a little bit more break effect, either on your Harmony MC, or you have a little bit more break effect on Firefly herself, or you have a little bit more break effect on... Actually, you don't even need more break effect. You can have like 100 more attack. You're going to get over this hump at 360. So you can activate her full trace. So even without the light cone, is actually pretty doable. Oh, I forgot to talk about the relics. So the relics are giving us... Wait, why are the relics here? So the relics are actually going to give us 56%. I forgot about that. And then the Misha light cone is going to be 0. So 56%. Let me talk about the relics. So we have the new sets. This is going to give us a little bit of defense reduction when we're doing break damage and super break damage. This did get reworked. It used to be full, just straight damage reduction, or defense ignore, I should say, whenever you reach a break effect threshold. They nerfed it. They made it specifically for Firefly. So now you're doing super break damage. If you have super break damage, you deal an extra 15% defense ignore or something like that. I think it's 25 in total for super break damage and 10% for regular break damage. The orb, I don't remember the name of it, but this gives you speed, and then it also gives you 40% break effect if you're attacking a fire weak enemy, or if you attack the fire weak enemy, you get an extra 40% break effect. That's where the 56% from relics comes from. Now, the crit really doesn't matter unless you're, I don't know, for some reason you're running a crit build on Sam, which you shouldn't. Damage bonus also doesn't matter. Run May gives you a little bit of it, but you don't really care for it. Res pen you do care for, because res pen does take into consideration when you're dealing with break damage, also vulnerability, and also the defense reductions or defense ignore. All right, now we're gonna take a look at the damage table. So with everything that I just said, it's already added in the table. She is sitting at 425,000 when she does a what I have is set up. So I have it into the enhanced skill, into a super break, into a Harmony MC super break, into regular break damage. So this would be her maximum damage potential, which would be if the enemies are about to be broken, she triggers break damage, and she also triggers both instances of super break damage, being the super break damage from her own trace and then the super break damage from Harmony MC. As you can see, this is 3 enemies. I have it down here. So for the super break, we have the single target super break from her own super break passive, 51,000, and then the adjacent enemies each take 25,000, totaling at 100,000 there for super break, her own super break. Harmony MC super break is 84. Half of it is going to be done to the adjacent enemies for a total of 165,000, and her own break damage is 141,000. This is really high break damage, and it's only because we have 415 break effect. You only and exclusively need break effect on Firefly. She's one of the easiest characters to build for the simple reason that she only really needs speed, and not much speed. She needs a little bit of speed, and then she needs break effect. That is it. That's it. If you are having issue with break effect, you can throw in some attack, and then you'll make up for it. Now, for the speed discussion, the reason that you could run speed boots and you also couldn't, if you don't have to run speed boots, is because Firefly has 109 base speed when you take into consideration her trace. If you run her with Ro and May, you get an extra 10% speed, and then if you run this planar set right here, you get an extra 6. With all that taken into consideration, without speed boots, she is sitting at about 126, 127 speed with no speed boots, right? When she goes into combustion, she's going to get an extra 60. That's 186 speed that she's going to have in combustion. So without attack boots. I mean, without speed boots, she's going to be zoom at 180 speed. So she's going to be able to get a bunch of turns in her combustion. If you throw in speed boots, you're going to be sitting at about 216 speed-ish. So you're going to be able to get 3 actions by the time combustion hits, which actually equals 4, because when you trigger combustion, you get an action immediately, and then you're able to you're able to loop your own combustion 3 times because you have 3 times the amount of speed. So it's actually pretty insane. You're going to be able to go 4 times with Firefly. No Bronya needed, no nothing needed. All you need is speed boots if you want to do that, or if you want to go 3 times, you can just forego the speed boots, get attack boots, get defense boots, defense, whatever you want to do, HP, defense, speed, attack. Firefly can use anything. Pretty much the easiest DPS character to build. It's not even close. Yeah, I'm actually over the moon with like how good her kit turned out to be. Like, I don't know, like people call her mid-fly. I actually like it a lot. I actually like that she does this much damage. I mean, this is pretty much the damage Boothill is doing, but with for 1 target, which is kind of funny. But still, this is enough damage to help you clear. Like, you don't need a million damage to help you clear MOC 12, MOC 11. With this much, if you're missing a fire DPS or a break character, or you just like the break meta, this is enough damage. And this is like, I'm not taking into consideration other light cones that like her signature light cone is actually insane. I'm gonna do a calculation for light cones in the future, but her signature light cone is pretty good on her as well. Give her some extra defense ignore as well. So this damage can go even higher with a little bit more investment. If we take Ruan Mei away, so let's say we take Ruan Mei away, let's reduce this, and then we reduce this, and then we reduce this by 20. If we take Ruan Mei away, yeah, her damage kind of like drops off pretty considerably, because so break efficiency actually is probably the most important factor when it comes to super break, because look at how much damage adding 50% super break adds in there. Boom, it's like almost 100k just adding the Ruan Mei 50% break efficiency. And then with her, you're obviously going to have the break pen. So actually removing Ruan Mei is I don't know, I don't recommend it. If you have Ruan Mei, run her with him. Like, why not? If you're planning to run a Boothill, like a Boothill and then Firefly rotation, both on the same like run, then I would recommend just running Boothill kind of like with a Bronya, or running Boothill with Sparkle or something like that, and then just leave Harmony MC and Ruan Mei for our homie Firefly, because she's going to take more advantage of that than Boothill will, because Boothill can actually go a little bit and lean over more to the crit side, and he can do very, very well in it by himself. Like, he doesn't need all this extra stuff. Not that Firefly needs it as well, but she definitely relies more on Ruan Mei and Harmony MC than a character like Boothill does. So hopefully you guys got some value out of it. Hopefully you guys are excited about Boothill and Firefly. I am definitely excited. I'm pulling for both. It's going to be on stream. It's going to be fucking awesome. So until next time, guys, see ya.